at my email questions here. Got another one. This one has to do with I've used up my my gift exemption. I use up my gift exemption. What next? So it's kind of a broad question, but do you understand where they're going with that?
Yeah, I think I get it. Okay, so again, this is another relatively technical question. I'm glad on open forum we're getting such sophisticated questions, but the answers, I don't have the time to give the sophisticated answers that it deserves. So again, this is all broad brush stuff. You got to go back and work with appropriate counsel, and especially in a case like this, you want to have a team of not only competent legal, but also competent tax counsel. All right, so the question that's being presented is like this. Right now, under the Trump tax law, each individual person in 2018 has I think it's $11.2 million exemption. So it's a lifetime exemption. Either you use it during your lifetime or you use it when you pass away. Okay, but it's $11.2 million. And if you married, you can double it up, 22 million. It's wowee, it's a huge dollar amount. Wait to see what happens with the future administrations on where that pendulum swings on the size. Because before we were at a much lower dollar amount. So when we see people that have gifted assets away, let's say you are trying to minimize your overall estate, or you want to get assets out of your estate because you want that growth to grow out of your estate because you're trying, we call it estate freezing techniques. You want to stop the bleeding because the more your estate grows, the more estate taxes you're going to have to pay when you die. So if you get the asset out of your estate, then all the future growth is out of your estate. Right? I mean, but to get the asset out, you typically have to gift it, G-I-F-T, gift it to another entity, either an individual, but in most cases, you're gifting it to a trust, special types of trusts. There are things that are called IDGITs, intentionally defective grantor trusts. We have what are called CLATs, charitable lead annuity trusts, CLUTs, charitable lead annuity trusts, unit trusts. There are certain types of trusts, kids, straight gifting trust to kids. There are certain types of trusts that you do to get the asset out and to avoid the growth inside your estate. Again, estate freezing techniques. So if you've already used up your exemption, let's say I already gave $11 million, so I only have my 0.2 left, 200,000, but I want to give away another $1 million, right? No. So, well, if I give it away, since I used up my exemption, now I'm going to get whacked with a 40% gift tax. I don't want to pay $400,000 to Uncle Sam for the privilege of giving away another $1 million of my assets. So here we have to use, as I mentioned, a couple specialized tools. There are things that are called IDGITs. There are things that are called GRATs. There are things that are called GRUTs. There are things that are called CLATs. There are things that are called CLUTs. These are all acronyms. Estate planning is like the government. We got more acronyms than you know what to do with, So charitable lead annuity trusts, grantor retained annuity trust, intentionally defective grantor trusts. These are all ways of getting assets out of your estate at a discounted rate. So although you're transferring $1 million out, it's not booked at present value for $1 million. Maybe you can book it for maybe only 100,000 or maybe 200,000 as the gift value, but you're actually getting $1 million out. It's, again, very complicated. They're called split interest gifts, where you have a retained interest and a future interest. Again, as I mentioned, this is a complicated, this is like the advanced class of estate planning. We do it all the time for business owners as part of a succession plan. And there are tools. Just because you've gotten close, or you used up your exemption, or you have assets in excess of the current exemption, we can do work for you to get those assets out of your estate and to grow, again, to keep that growth out of your estate by doing what's called an estate freeze. But sometimes we have to use some of these more advanced tools to either preserve the exemption you have left or to minimize the actual tax hit because you've already used it up. All right, yeah. By minimizing the present value of a future gift.
Yeah, and I know this gets technical, but I also know you've been working with some really great online sellers recently, and they've been kind of tapping into our firm about exit strategy and how to mitigate taxes and some of the tools like you're talking about now for business. Yeah,
that's right. These are normally business owners, because it's with the exemption amount nowadays, transferring a residence really isn't. Unless you got a super expensive house, not going to breach that $11 million mark for most people.
Right.